Hello everyone, I'm John.
And I'm Nick.
Recently, we've been trying to get around Clinton Township using our bikes.
So, our most recent trip was to the mall at Partridge Creek, which is about 6.5 miles northwest of where we're at.
Some of the trip could have been a little bit better, but overall, it wasn't bad. Nick, why don't you take us through it?
So this Google map is showing where we're going to be starting on 16 Mile, the route we'll be taking to Partridge Creek. Right now we're riding along Groesbeck in what is currently the shoulder of the road. If you can see to the right, there's no sidewalk or any ways for really any other mode of transportation other than cars to get around. Just making sure you're dodging cars in the shoulder. Also a lot of debris on the ground. Yeah, this is another scary part because this is technically a turn lane here. So anyone who's walking or biking, I mean, people walking could go in the grass for some kind of protection, but if you're biking up Groesbeck, there's really nothing to protect you from incoming cars.
Eventually, we came across a crosswalk. As we cross here, Harrington Road, to get to the other side so we can enter George, you'll notice that there is a little bit of sidewalk connecting the road crosswalk. But as we show here in a minute, Nick will take his lovely camera and show us, the sidewalk just doesn't go anywhere up Harrington to the McLaren-Macomb facility. There's an entire hospital up there with no connecting roadway at all.
Yep, absolutely nothing. Just riding right in the street. So when we cross this intersection, we hit one of the best parts of George when you're entering by bike, a nice downhill slope. So that's really fun. Woo! I'm letting gravity do all the work. So it's just all of these trails, and there's also another trail on the other side with people walking their dogs, relaxing, riding bikes. This is what would be really, really nice to have more of.
As you can see, the George Memorial Park has plenty of open space for you and your family to enjoy, whether you come here on foot or by bike. There's plenty of room in this amazing park for everyone. It offers a pavilion, walking trails, beautiful views as you can see on screen now. Fantastic place to be.
So this is the only parking lot in George Park. Because this is a really fun, really nice park to be in too. This parking lot is almost always full. It would be nice if they added more bicycle parking so more people could bike to the park. But I really don't blame anyone for not biking here because it really only gets worse from this part of the video on. Because this right here is the construction project on Cass on the bridge.
It really doesn't come across on the video, but this was truly, genuinely terrifying.
It's really hard to see, but there are a number of cars behind us, and a little bit of leeway has to be given. There is construction going on, so this isn't normally how it is. It's normally worse.
Absolutely, because having the 4 lanes of 2 lanes going one way, 2 lanes going the other, moved down to 1 lane with a concrete barrier next to you is absolutely terrifying. As you can see here, the barrels go away and it's us. There are inches between my bike tire and that concrete barrier. Nick was a little bit more out in the road than I was, but as you can see, there's not a lot of road to share between us. There was a big bus that came by us in the beginning, just absolutely an experience.
We'll have some footage in another video, but there is no way to get across here if you're a pedestrian, or certainly if you're physically disabled in any way because you have to hop over a barrier to get over the bridge. It's just not ideal.
Absolutely not.
But we're gonna hop up this curb right here and then jump on the rest of the path back. So this is the most ambiguous part of getting to the mall at Partridge Creek because we're on a nice path and then it goes immediately to grass or to a sidewalk, and this pattern repeats basically the rest of the way there. It's hard to tell when you're gonna have a nice solid way of getting there, or if you're gonna be riding through the grass.
Right, and as you can see, a lot of people use this route because the grass had been squished down and killed off where people had biked or walked over those people's yards so many times. As you can see here, we have sidewalk, crossing a road or a street, and then just we're back on the lawn. And as you can see, there's clearly a crushed down path in front of Nick's tire where other people have biked before him, crossing a driveway back to the sidewalk.
Yeah, this really doesn't incentivize people to get on their bikes or find a different way to get somewhere if they don't have a car. So if you're just going between, this purgatory of of actual trailer path to get where you're going, then you're not going to want to use it. It's going to be muddy when you're walking or biking, and it would be hard and really completely inaccessible if you had to go here or anywhere in a wheelchair.
Right. Looking here, you can see somebody's driveway was a U shape, so we had to cut across their driveway to get to this school coming up here. Nick and I are currently dodging and weaving between buses that are about to leave because there's no accessible sidewalk to or from this school.
Yeah, it's really really hard to bounce around on a bike, on a slow moving vehicle, or if you were just walking to get to where you're trying to go. It's not accessible, it's not fun, it's stressful. So it doesn't encourage anyone to find a different way to get where they're trying to go, or find or use the only way they're trying to get where they're trying to go.
Exactly. The most astute of you will probably notice that the camera has slipped from pointing directly in front of Nick to facing more towards the ground because of how uneven the path has been so far on this journey.
But the camera wouldn't have fallen down if there were better bikeways.
See, even Nick knows that right now in the video, and he's not even here anymore.
So on this trodden path that we're riding on, this is actually right leading up to Romeo Plank, where Chippewa Valley Schools High School is based.
Right, and the two roundabouts are there.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no path. There's just a really well trodden uh, patch of grass.
Dirt path, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Leading right up to this sidewalk entrance to the roundabout that we are able to luckily use to cross, but it doesn't go anywhere, so what's the point?
hmm It's it's nice to have it's really nice to have roundabouts, but they're not really designed for bikes. That's one downside of the roundabouts around here.
Right. It's like they forgot that somebody walking or biking might have to go through them. It was a nice gesture of them to put that sidewalk there in, but unfortunately, it's kind of pointless. And here on the other side, you can see we're back on a fully fledged bike path.
It's like nothing changed, but as you can tell, it was quite the mixed bag of pavement or grass getting here.
Absolutely. Going here.
But look at this!
Here,
Look at this bike path. So it just picks up back here again,
bridge,
and it's. I think this is 8 feet, or whatever.
Refuge.
It's a big path. Really wide. We've got this nice little bridge right here. Also very scenic. To the left, I think that's like some kind of wildlife. This path. This has got to be the standard. I don't know what it is. I think there's a sign coming up. Especially next to a major road, like Romeo Plank. So if Clinton Township is going to do anything to really improve the mobility for all of its citizens, they would really have to consider making these the standard of getting around by bicycle or walking.
Absolutely. Even here, there is a sidewalk in front of Walmart here on Hall Road, but so many cars are coming in and out of so many businesses on Hall Road, that sidewalk may as well not exist because you'll just be waiting all day for 20 cars to come in, 10 cars to go out, 30 cars to come in, 5 cars to go out. At that point, you're not getting anywhere, so we had no choice but to use the parking lot behind the store. As you can see now, we're traveling through the mostly unused parking lot behind the Walmart.
Yep, there's just a lot of empty space. I'm sure at some points of the year this might fill up, but take a look at this. We have to stop, get off of our bikes, and lift them over this patch of grass where the curb comes up. If they had put some like small path or something, to consider pedestrians or bicyclists, then this would be a lot easier of a way to get around. It's just right now it's an obstacle to get somewhere on a bike, and it seems like it was made that way on purpose.
Absolutely, I can understand not wanting the sidewalk or the parking lots to connect to keep cars from one business to another. But when you're talking about people on foot or people on bikes, you could put a small 4 foot little section there. Cars can't go through it. It would make biking or walking, heck, walking, because the mall is literally right next door to the Walmart. You can't tell me that we are the first people to walk from one to the other. That's just not realistic.
So this is the parking lot in the back of the mall of the Partridge Creek, and it's again basically empty. So we're just riding through.
Barren, unused parking spaces.
Yeah, it's it's easy to get around by bike through here because there aren't any cars around. But it kind of just says something about why going to an outdoor walkable mall might not be the greatest idea if you have to drive here to get there.
Right. Well, the thing with this is it's not even ideal for bikes because there's one bike parking area at the back right-hand corner, like it was put there as an afterthought or to keep people from looking at you on your bike.
Yeah, like they're trying to hide you
Right.
from biking. It's like, but then again, in a lot of the United States, people don't look at biking to work like it's or biking around to get things done as a true way to get things done. They kind of think about you like you're poor or you're crazy if you're getting around on a bike.
Right, right. It's not a very good look in the United States.
But nonetheless, we got here and the we parked our bikes on the two available slots that are here for bike parking.
You made it.
Yeah, I mean, although it was great going through George, that was a good spot to be. There's a really nice path there, really taking bikes and pedestrians into consideration. Just outside of that, there's the mammoth that is Cass Road, and or Cass Avenue.
Cass Avenue.
And there's currently no bike infrastructure or a way to get through there. And since the construction's there, it's just
Right. Even with disregarding the construction that's there right now, taking it from 4 lanes down to 2, there wouldn't be infrastructure there on a normal day anyway because it doesn't exist.
Yeah. So, and even after that, there's just the patchiness of sidewalk, bike path, nothing, sidewalk,
Front yard. It's amazing because as you see in the video, there's even a school there that has no sidewalk. At least the school should have sidewalk. Like people are walking, you can see that the path has been beaten down by people walking and biking, probably to the school.
Yeah. So we got to Partridge Creek, had a good time getting there, but there was really little bike parking and little consideration taken into biking to Partridge Creek as well.
Absolutely. It was a nice ride, but there's definitely room for improvement in every element of getting there.
Absolutely. Yep. We've got a long way to go for Clinton Township.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching our first video, and we'll see you here again in the next one.